Game 1 of the 2011 WWL World Series, Quackers, Bombers, and Kevin Keenan getting in a jam early, hits O'Hara in the head, then walks Matt Hines. Bombers end up scoring 5. Kevin Keenan finally gets the strike at the end of the inning. So Bombers up 5, and Kevin Keenan struggling at the plate. And Shelton gets things going for the Quackers, hits a 2-run shot. Quackers would score no more in the inning, and the score is 5-2. In the second, Chris Turberg's up with 1 on. Darren struggling with the grounder, gets it over to Pollard. They call him out. Let's see if he got him. Stopping it. Yeah, he got him by a step. Great call. Then Kotcher's up, and ooh. Taking another look, his knee buckles on him. That's nasty. He falls to the ground. Not sure at first. The commissioner's going to come over and check on him. Also filling in as the medical staff. And turns out he'd be okay. He'd stay in the game. O'Hara's up next. He ropes a double. Chris Turborg's going to come around to score. The Bombers get another run, go up 6-2. In the bottom, it's Pollard. And he goes for a double after hitting it down the line. He stays safe into second. Then Shelton's up. And that's not going to help. He strikes out. Then Swan's looking again. The Quackers would get the bases loaded. And Pollard's up. And Kotcher able to snag that one to end the inning. The score stays 6-2. In the third, Kevin's still pitching, still trying to find the zone. The team gets together, trying to help him out. Grounder by O'Hara is next, and Keenan makes a great play. Hard to tell. He gets O'Hara for the out. Then it's back to struggling. So that would be all for Keenan. After 2 1/3, Pollard would go in to try to get things done. And he'd start off a grounder, gets by him. A run comes across from the Bombers. They'd end up scoring 5 in the inning after Pollard finally ends it with a strikeout. But once it got to the fourth, it was all rain. Here's Jake Kotcher pitching, and he lets up a home run to Jordan Shelton, his second on the day. But you see the skies, it came down. The umbrellas came out, but the Quackers were unable to make a comeback despite scoring 6 runs in the bottom of the 6th. You see the guys running. The weather was terrible. Matt O'Hara managed 2 home runs, but the Bombers win this one, 14-13. Game 2 of the World Series. The Quackers need this one. Corey Sisson on the hill for the Bombers. Jordan Shelton starts it off by a single. Gets Pollard to come around. Then Pollard's up later, and wow. Someone called the cops because he just got robbed. Chris Peterson with a great catch. Then later in the inning, Shelton hits his first home run on the day. We're going to start a tally there. Then Swan goes deep 2. The Quackers score 7. So in the bottom, the Bombers up, and Corey Sisson striking out. We're going to start his own tally, too. In the second, Sisson up again. Another strikeout. Then Hines is up. He Ks. The Bombers would manage 1 in the second. The score is 8-1. More from the Quackers in the third. That's Shelton's second home run, tying Corey Sisson with Ks. And then Darren McGuire, he's going to strike out. And Shelton up again. It's not a home run, but it's a base hit. Kevin Keenan sliding safe into second. 2 runs come around on the play. In the bottom of the third, it's hard to tell, but it's a grounder to Pollard. He can't make the play. Corey Sisson's up again, though. That's his 3rd strikeout on the day. In the fourth, it's Pollard, and that's going to be a souvenir as he hits it over the fence. Then in the bottom, he was still on pitching. You see Corey Sisson strike out for the 4th time. Then Matt O'Hara's up with the bases loaded. Finally gets something off Pollard. That would bring across 4, and then Sisson's up again for his 5th strikeout on the day. In the 5th, Pollard's up, and he's going to find the center of the field, bringing around 2 runs. Then Shelton, that's another home run. Make it 3 on the day. Then Swan, he finds his groove, gets into left field. Then Darren's hitting 2. The Quackers score 6 in the 5th. Then in the bottom, Kevin Keenan makes a nice play. Second, gets Jake Kotcher, and Pollard would get the bases loaded and walk in a run. Then he'd get Chris Peterson to strike out. The score was 18-8 going into the 6th, and Shelton wasn't done. That's his 4th home run. Could he catch Sisson? Yes! That's his 5th home run on the day. But in the end, Corey Sisson would prevail with 6 strikeouts. Then Chris Peterson strikes out the end of the game. The Quackers win Game 2 by a score of 23-8. So it all comes down to Game 3. The series tied 1-1. Bombers started off with a grounder, and Darren McGuire, that one kind of got away. So man on first and second. Kevin Keenan makes a nice play at third. Then Regis Pollard still on the hill for the Quackers. He strikes out O'Hara to end the inning. So the score is 0-0 going into the second, and Matt Hines striking out. But then Jake Kotcher down the line gets things going for the Bombers. But then he tries to go to second. That's a bad choice because Corey Sisson's there. Darren McGuire sees it, finally pegs out Jake to end the inning. In the second for the Quackers, it was Kevin Keenan striking out, but then Jordan Shelton, he's been so hot in the series, hits his first home run of this game. Then Josh Swan, he strikes out 2, and then Pollard would get on with the weird hit. It goes fair. The Quackers would score another off Jordan Shelton's hit. Pollard comes around. The Quackers score 3 in the inning and go up 3-0. In the third, the Bombers looking for runs, and Jake Kotcher draws the walk. Then it's Chris Peterson's grounder. A run would score, but Darren McGuire would get an out on the play. Corey Sisson's up, and he walks. That's another run for the Bombers, but that's all they get was 2 as Jake Kotcher strikes out to end the inning. In the bottom, Darren McGuire looking silly. Jake Kotcher with a strikeout, then Shelton puts it on the ground. This would be the only run scored as Kevin Keenan comes all the way from first, and the Quackers go up 4-2. In the fourth, the Quackers go 1-2-3 as Pollard gets Peterson, then O'Hara as he throws the bat, then Hines to end the inning. And it wasn't done there as the Bombers played defense too. Jake Kotcher making a nice grab here, and the score was 4-2 going into the fifth. Pollard looks like he has things in check early, but then bases loaded, and Matt O'Hara puts a double off the fence, tying the game at 4s. Pollard eventually end the inning. Corey Sisson striking out, so 4-4. Quackers looking for runs. Darren McGuire draws a walk. Then Jordan Shelton, been big all series, and 2 more runs score as Shelton makes the Quackers go up 6-4. Kotcher would end the inning with 2 strikeouts. That's Swan, and then gets Pollard swinging. So it's 6-4 Quackers going into the 6th. The Bombers looking for magic. Chris Peterson gets a blooper down the line. Then Matt O'Hara walks. The bases are loaded for the Bombers. And Matt Hines, listen in.
Swung on and hit. It's I can't believe it. A grand slam for Matt Hines. And the Bombers take the lead in the top of the 6th.
So after Matt Hines' grand slam, the Quackers are down 2. Kevin Keenan in the bottom getting on base. Then Jordan Shelton striking out for the first out. You'd see Josh Swan up next. He draws the walk. 2 men are on. Darren McGuire puts it up the middle. Swan slides safety into second while Keenan scores. But then Swan tries to go home. He can't. There's only 1 base on an overthrow. He has to go back to third. So 1 out. Pollard's up. He can't get it done. 2 outs, 1 out left. Kevin Keenan, all the pressure in the world, and that one's going to stay inside the park. The Bombers are crowned your 2011 World Series champions of the WWL, and they win this one by a final of 8-7.